I was raised in a family, a ranch in Montana. We did not have a lot of money. The first time that I went to a dentist, I was probably about 8 years old, didn't even own a toothbrush, and I believe I had 11 cavities. So that was a little bit traumatic at that age to have to get that many cavities filled. I think it had to do with the water and our nutrition and whatnot. I had dental work from the time I was 8 years old until I had this done. Even today, I told Jackie, I'm kind of falling asleep in the chair. And she said, that's not normal to fall asleep at the dentist's office. And I said, you're right. But now that these bridges are in, I'm completely comfortable and it's relaxation. So growing up, we got to pick prizes off the treasure chest, so that was fun. But after that, it was not fun to go to the dentist. I had 3 crowns right on the top front, and we were living in Hawaii. My husband was in the Marine Corps, and 2 of those crowns cracked. They told me, whatever you do, don't go to the dentist here. The labs are horrible. Wait till you get back to the States. Well, our next duty station was Okinawa, Japan. So we were there for 3 years. So cracked crowns for that whole 5 years. Then we moved back to the East Coast, and that's where I had a lot of veneers put on. And that was pretty traumatic, very expensive. Honestly, I don't think they look very good. We moved back to Montana and continued to have problems. One of the crowns actually broke, so I was having to use Fixodent to keep it in, and that was for over 2 years. So every once in a while, when the Fixodent loosened up, my tooth would fall out. So I was constantly on guard. I didn't eat anything ever with my front teeth. I thought, I've got to get something done. So I started going to dentists, saw a couple of dentists in Montana, and it was going to be very, very expensive. It was going to take a couple of years just to do all this work. And even then, that was only on the top. That wasn't on my bottom teeth. And I had happened to be on an Alaskan Air flight and saw Dr. Keller's advertisement. And so I actually took a couple screenshots of it, and it was always kind of in the back of my mind. After I checked with all these dentists in Montana and found out how expensive it was going to be, I asked my husband about coming here to have a consult done, and there really was no question. I made the appointment, and the night before, we're in a hotel here in Redmond, and I'm brushing my teeth, and I said to my husband, it's not too late. This is so expensive. We can just go home. I know I'll have to pay a little bit of a fee for the appointment, but that's okay. And as I'm brushing my teeth, my tooth fell out again in the sink. I'm scrambling to grab it. My husband's never seen me without my tooth before. I didn't want him to see it then. And I get it put back in, and my husband was kind of standing there watching me. And he said, aren't you tired of going through this? I said, yes. And he goes, we've got the money. We've been blessed. Just get your teeth fixed. So my husband and I both work with an organization called Mighty Oaks Warrior Programs, or Mighty Oaks Legacy Programs. And they take veterans, active duty, and first responders, their risk of suicide or dealing with PTS, also spouses. And my husband manages the California program out of San Miguel, California. And then I work with the women's programs, and I'm just coming off a week from being there. And it's absolutely the most amazing thing to watch people's lives turn around, do a 180. So it is a faith-based program, but look into it if you have any interest at all. So we started with Mighty Oaks back in 2015. They had come to Bozeman to speak at a Veterans Appreciation Luncheon. And I asked my husband to come to the airport and kind of be a tour guide for him for 3 days. And they asked him to come to Mighty Oaks, and he said, no, I think veterans programs are a scam. He told them that several times. But by the end of the weekend, they said, we know you already said that. We want you to come to Mighty Oaks. So they asked him to come on board, and he started as a team leader and now is running the men's program out of Sky Rose Ranch in California. And the owner of Sky Rose Ranch, Wayne Hughes, actually heard that there were 2 veteran suicides a day and wanted to do something. So he reached out to Chad and Kathy Robichaux, who had started the program, and provided a place. It's a beautiful lodge on a 22,000 acre working cattle ranch in San Miguel. And he reached out to them and said, I want to do whatever I can to help. Their program is so successful. I think they've now had over 5,000 people go through the program. The suicide rate is almost nothing. The divorce rate has gone way down. And it's so good that the government actually came to Chad and said, we want your program. And Chad said, you can have it. He wasn't going to charge him anything. And they said, yeah, but we want it without the God stuff. And he said, won't work. They said, but what are you doing in 6 days that we can't do in 6 months? We put people in in-house treatment and sometimes they come out the same or worse. What are you doing differently? And Chad said, oh, it's not 6 days. He said, it's one moment when a man figures out who God wants him to be. When I was trying to decide what to do about this, I absolutely prayed about it. I prayed about it a lot. I did not know where the money was going to come from, so we were praying about that. So I was trying to figure out, do I go get a loan? What do I do? Sadly, my mom passed away from COVID, and when her inheritance came through, there were 8 kids at that point, and that actually provided half the money. And then I totally forgot that I had a savings account through work, and they said, yeah, you can use this if you need it. So that was the money, half from my mom and half from my savings account at work that I totally forgot I had. I'd been working there about, probably 10 years at that point. So partly what my his point was, he said, hey, God's provided the money. Let's just do this. Honestly, I debated, do I do this with my teeth or do I buy a camper? And my husband was like, honey, your teeth are forever. Take care of your teeth. Honestly, when I showed up and went through everything with Jackie, I was very comfortable at the thought of doing it. The only thing that was holding me back at all was the money. Everything was a well-oiled machine. All the directions were very clear. They went over it with me. I talked to them before I flew out. When I got to the office that morning, everything was laid out. It was clear. I felt extremely comfortable. I felt like the staff was just so relaxed, but also very professional, very competent. I didn't even have an ounce of stress after meeting the staff. They were amazing. Honestly, I can't say enough good about them. And during the whole procedure, I was completely comfortable. I was kind of twilighted a little bit. So I was aware that there were things going on, but I was completely relaxed. It was awesome. If you're on the fence about this, I would say come to Dr. Keller, have him look at your teeth, have them go over everything, look at the office, meet the people, look at the website. The testimonials are absolutely amazing to me, and it has changed my life so much. I know that I smile way more than I ever did before. Even yesterday, I was walking through Nordstrom's, and I had a lady who worked at Nordstrom's stop me and say, your teeth are so beautiful. And I kind of started laughing and I said, well, they're all fake. Smiles by design, Dr. Keller. But she truly was very interested because she just listened to every word I said. I did not realize how little I smiled until after this was done. My kids have all commented, my husband's commented, people at work. I noticed that when I'm walking down, an aisle or I'm out and about somewhere that I'm smiling at people and they kind of do a double take and they smile back. And even laughing. I never used to laugh without covering my mouth. So it's like a gift every day. When I think about it, it's been a huge blessing in my life.